Welcome back to Jules Matters. In our session today, we will be calculating the diameter when we're already given our area and our pi is equal to 3.14. Now for this example, I usually don't use a calculator. However, I will be using one for this question. So if you're ready, let's get started. So in our example today, we are going to be calculating the length of our diameter. And for this question, what is different for us is that we are already given our area. And we know that in using our area formula, we're asked to use the radius. So what we're going to have to do for this example is we're going to firstly have to calculate the length of our radius and then afterwards calculate the length of the diameter. So let's get started. We're going to begin as always with applying our substitution. So we know that our area we're told is given. So we're going to substitute that in for our area. So we have 254 and 34 hundredths. That is equal to our pi of 3.14. We're putting back our radius, which is being squared. Now we're going to be moving into our one-step equation rules. And remember that our main goal is always to get our unknown variable, which in this case is our r for our radius, by itself on one side of the equation. And we're going to do that by dividing both sides of our equation by our coefficient of 3 and 14 hundredths. So both sides of the equation will be divided by this number. And on the right hand side, this will cancel. And once that is canceled, we are left with just our radius squared on the right hand side. And then back on the left hand side, this portion I used the calculator for. And when we divided 3.14 into our 234 hundredths, we were given 81. So we're now left with 81. And at this point, we have our radius, which is being squared. And remember, we were not asked to find the radius squared, which means that I'm now going to be calculating the square root, because we know that in using our square root, this will take us back to, this will actually cancel out our square. This goes back to your laws of indices where the power and the root will cancel out each other, which will just leave you with your radius. And we know that the square root of 81 is going to equal to 9. So our radius is equal to 9. Now remember that for this question, you were asked to find the diameter. And remember that with the diameter, this measures twice the length of our radius. So the diameter is always equal to 2 times whatever your radius is. And in this case, our radius is equal to 9. So we're going to multiply 2 times 9. And our diameter will equal to 18 centimeters. So that will be the length of our diameter. I hope this video is very helpful to you. I hope you were able to follow along with the steps and calculate the length of your radius and then in turn find the length of your diameter by multiplying your radius by 2. But remember, as always, get some additional practice in and make sure that you watch more videos on how we calculate the length of our area when we're given our pi in its fractional or decimal form. And I'll see you right here in the next video on Jules Math Tools, where we aim to make math easy.